asked you guys last night, should the Arizona Cardinals trade Kyler Murray and draft Caleb Williams, or should they keep Kyler Murray and build around him? And the way you guys responded to this poll, there were 348 of you guys who voted. 63% of you guys said they should tank for Caleb and trade Kyler. Only 37% said keep Kyler Murray. And this is pretty much how I feel about it. Honestly, I just feel Kyler Murray could probably use a fresh start, new coaching staff. He's coming back from an injury that he may not be the same player that he was before it. And Kyler Murray isn't one of those players that you can just plug and play into any kind of offense. He has a very unique skill set. He is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the game, but he does have limitations that you have to scheme around. And Arizona with a new coaching staff, I just think that it would be too much having to adjust and having to build a scheme around a guy like Kyler Murray's skill set. Plus, you don't know how he's going to be post-injury, ACL injury at that. I'd rather take my chances on Caleb Williams. Now, for those of you guys who are like, oh, JT, you doubting Kyler Murray, you got to remember that Kyler Murray isn't able to throw from inside of the pocket effectively. A lot of his game is off improvising, using his legs to extend plays, pick up big gains in the run game with his ability to be super athletic in the open field, really agile, really shifty. So with him coming off that ACL injury, he probably is going to lose a tad bit of that athleticism. Everybody always says that you're not the same player that you was after an ACL injury. You look at Caleb Williams, he's going to be healthy, and his film is really equivalent to Patrick Mahomes. The only difference is that he's a more refined version of Patrick Mahomes. He doesn't have all of the technicalities that Patrick Mahomes had to work out with when he was coming out of Texas Tech. And Lincoln Riley has been really good at getting quarterbacks into the NFL. Caleb Williams going to the Arizona Cardinals, you'll be getting a QB who you don't have to worry about the same character issues that Kyler Murray currently has. You're also going to have a clean slate at QB. You're a new GM, Monte Austinfort. And then your new head coach, Jonathan Gannon. This is going to be the guys who you guys handpick to lead your franchise. And he's one of those quarterbacks that you can just look at and know that he's going to figure it out. You know that he's just going to be him. Caleb Williams is a generational quarterback, and I know that term kind of gets thrown out a little bit too loosely, but it's the honest truth. You're not going to find a lot of quarterbacks that have the kind of skill set that Caleb Williams has that's just so refined. He's able to get outside the pocket. He can make all kinds of throws, all platform. He has a fantastic arm. He's a very great runner. He's kind of a little bit like how Jalen Hurts is. He's not one of those finesse runners, but he's a really powerful runner. He's also really compact as well. He's really big, so he can be able to take the hits that, start to build up over time throughout the NFL season. Caleb Williams, he's one of those. He really is. If you're one of those people who doubt Caleb Williams, please go watch some film, because he's one of those Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence SQBs who should be able to succeed unless you just have a dodo brain at head coach. Kyler Murray, you just don't know if he's going to be that same QB. And honestly, I really would love to see Kyler Murray in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell. I really would. And me personally, I really want to see him with the Rams, but there's no way the Cardinals are going to trade him within the division. But if he can't go to the Rams, I want to see him on the Vikings. He would be a really good addition to that offense. Kevin O'Connell is a really good offensive mind, and Kirk Cousins, it probably looks like they're going to move on from him when his contract is up. I would love to see Kyler Murray in Minnesota. I just think for the Arizona Cardinals, having a new coaching staff, you're not really going to have a good team. So you're not even going to have the opportunity to fairly evaluate Kyler Murray anyway. Plus, you're going to have a chance to reset. You are going to trade him. Even if you do trade his contract, you probably still are going to have to take a little bit of that to the chin. But you'll have Caleb Williams on a cheap rookie contract for the next 4 to 5 years. And Caleb Williams is one of those quarterbacks that he's so talented that not only is he going to come in and produce right away, but the potential is also up there as well for him to be a top 5 quarterback in the game. So you're going to have that on the young contract. You're also going to have some additional high draft picks like the one that you are potentially going to get from the Houston Texans. That could be a top 10 pick, top 5 selection. You could trade that, get more picks. And then also you can trade Kyler Murray and get a first round for Kyler Murray. I still think that despite the character issues and the ACL injury, he's still worth a first round pick. Now, you got to remember that a first round pick for Kyler Murray isn't too much, going with the fact that this is somebody who still is a Pro Bowl caliber QB, still has really elite talent. He may not be the same QB that he once was prior to that ACL injury, but he still is going to be good enough to be a top 10 quarterback. And you're not going to be giving up a big haul for Kyler Murray. You got to remember that I only said 1 first round pick. Russell Wilson got traded for multiple firsts, and if you're trading for any quarterback in the game that's as good or nearly as good as what Kyler Murray is, you're going to have to give up at least 2 or more first rounders. Kyler Murray is a really good quarterback when he's healthy. And even though you have some concerns, you probably can still get a first rounder for him. So Arizona, they won't be able to get a haul for Kyler Murray, but they could at least get a first round pick for Kyler Murray from a team like Minnesota. And I'm pretty sure there are teams that are willing to give up a first round pick for Kyler Murray despite the character concerns and the injury concerns. Because you just look at the talent, and if you have an offensive minded coach, they look at Kyler Murray, they're like, oh yeah, like give me him and I'll do some damage. Hell, keep an eye on the Denver Broncos maybe. Well, I don't know if Sean Payton would want to coach that, but just keep an eye on teams like the Raiders and stuff who may be looking at a quick fix at the quarterback position.